Hello, fellow classmates and Mr. Clemens. My name is Colson, and I am an intern with Councilwoman Heather Hall at Kansas City Hall. Today I will be sharing my experiences at City Hall alongside some of the history of City Hall itself. City Hall was the brainchild of local businessmen, the city manager Henry McElroy, and the mayor Albert Beach. Following World War I, the United States was in economic turmoil. Many people were without stable jobs or income to support their families. The mayor wanted to help alleviate this problem in Kansas City. He, alongside the Civic Improvement Committee, decided on building City Hall as a way to connect the Kansas and Missouri side of Kansas City. City Hall began construction in 1934 and was finished in May of 1937. City Hall's art style is Art Deco, which was very popular during the time period. City Hall was constructed using tons of marble and out layer of Indiana limestone. Inside the building, you will find many brass fittings. This is popular during the time period. The floor structure is based on importance. The higher you travel inside the building, the more important the figure is. The 22nd floor is home to all council members. The 26th floor, which is pictured on your screen, is home to the council chambers. This is where council members make important decisions like the passing of ordinances and resolutions. This is also open to the public, so you can go in there and watch these decisions happen in real time. And the 28th floor is home to the mayor's office. Speaking of the mayor and the council members are all elected officials. Therefore, one is not above the others. Thus, they are all equally as important and powerful as each other. However, the mayor's role is a bit different than those of his counterparts. The mayor is like a conductor in an orchestra. He leads and guides the city council meetings so that they are done efficiently and on time. He is also the face of Kansas City, being the public representative of Kansas City for people throughout the country. On your right, you will see an organizational chart of City Hall. At the top is the mayor of Kansas City, Quentin Lucas. Below him is the councilwoman Heather Hall, even though they should probably be on the same height. Below Councilwoman Heather Hall is Matthew Vogt. He is her legislative aide. Underneath him is both myself and Trey Shriver, who is an intern through Kansas City Public Schools. Councilwoman Heather Hall is a representative for 1st District. She has had 8 terms in office, with this year being her last. She notably has worked a lot with Variety KC and started the Inclusion Revolution, which I will touch on later. Matthew Vogt is her legislative aide. He handles day-to-day responsibilities, such as handles phone calls, emails, and other day-to-day responsibilities that may crop up. He is currently a college student at Park University. Being with Councilwoman Heather Hall, I do not have the same tasks in day-to-day that other interns might have. However, I have been working on one main project with her for about a month and a half. I will show it to you now. This is my slideshow for the KC Inclusion Revolution. The Inclusion Revolution is an initiative started by Councilwoman Heather Hall, partnering with Variety KC. Its primary goal is to make Kansas City the most inclusive city in the entire world. The Inclusion Revolution showcases and elevates the lives of people with developmental disabilities. It aims to not only make a world in which people with such disabilities are aided, but also celebrated. My goal in this project was to showcase all the amazing things that the councilwoman, alongside Variety KC, has done the last 8 years. I wanted to highlight legislative actions with those of individual companies to showcase one way we can make a more inclusive society. In the coming days, I hope this presentation will be able to be shared with other cities for them to learn from. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, my name is Matt Voke, and I am Councilman Heather Hall's Legislative Aide.
Alright, I have a couple questions to you about this internship. My first question is, what got you into the position you are now?
Yeah, so I actually started off as an intern for Councilwoman Hall when I was in high school, not through Northland Caps, unfortunately, but I was able to intern with her for a couple years, and then as a college student, the opportunity arose for me to come back and work for the councilwoman in a full-time capacity, so I just jumped at the opportunity.
Alright, thank you. What is an essential skill needed at this internship?
Yeah, I would say organization is probably the most essential skill you can have for this position. With all of the different meetings you need to attend, committees, and just the sheer amount of information that you're dealing with on an everyday basis. You need to have good organizational skills to not only help yourself be more efficient, but also to help the councilwoman herself stay on top of things and overall provide a good experience for her.
What have you done to master this essential skill?
So for me, it was just finding an organizational strategy that worked for me. My personal favorite is I have sticky notes all over my cubicle, and that really just helps me basically keep everything out in front of me, and then throughout the day I can reference those sticky notes. At this time we have this, at this time we have this, a reminder for something even next week to just stay on top of. But that has really helped me kind of filter all of that information just into one space that I can then look to pull from or just keep track of things.
What advice could you give me to master this specific skill?
I would say you kind of have to just go through a trial and error process. You have to find something that really works for you. Organization is kind of one of those things where I could give you, the tips and tricks, and they may help, but in order to find something that is truly going to work for you long term, you almost need to just try things yourself, whether it be, known strategies or something a little more unorthodox, just to kind of see what works best for you.
All right, I have some bonus questions for you.
Okay.
What essential skill do I need to work on specifically?
So I'd say right now, I would say you've honestly done a pretty good job throughout the internship. The one skill that I might recommend you work on a little bit would just be your conversation skills. You're very good at going up to the person and greeting them and then holding that conversation with them, but you tend to talk a lot about sports or Mizzou or something like that. So I would say, and we'll work on this as well, but instead of dictating the flow of the conversation yourself, allowing the other person or people to kind of dictate that flow and to be able to maneuver in between different topics.
Okay, my last question for you is, what can a CAP student do to be prepared for City Hall?
Wow. I would say there's nothing you can do that can fully prepare you to come work at City Hall. It's one of those things that is vastly different than probably anywhere else that you would work within your lifetime, unless you're working in another political area. I would say you just have to be ready for the bluntness of City Hall. People are not going to sugarcoat things for you. As far as being prepared coming in as an intern, I feel like the best thing that you can really do is just have a willingness to learn and be open to, some of those critiques, because at the end of the day, everybody is just trying to help you improve. So then going forward, you can be better at whatever line of work you end up pursuing. So as far as being prepared for City Hall, you just have to come in open-minded, and everything else will work itself out.
All right, well, thank you for your time. I really appreciated it.
And of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
Of the 5 pro skills, the one I believe I was best at coming into CAPS was integrity and trust. In my family, integrity is taken very, very seriously. I have been trained as a young child up into my teenage life that if anything, guard your integrity and guard your name, because that will help you farther in life than what you have accomplished. For example, my dad, when he was looking for jobs, would say that many of the times he would get jobs not on the fact that he was better than other candidates. It was the fact that he had such high integrity that his name was known among everyone else. Of the 5 pro skills the 5 pro skill that I think I worked on the most at my internship was communication collaboration. Coming into the CAPS, I think I dominated conversations a lot. What I learned in CAPS was how to feed off of other people's conversations and also talk to people who I might be scared of, such as the mayor or other council people. The technical skill I learned the most was email proficiency, how to write a grammatically correct email to people so that it sounds correct. Overall, I really enjoyed my internship. I got to experience many things that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise. For instance, I was able to meet the mayor of Kansas City and talk to him. We discussed my future plans on what I wanted to do and also how we could make the city a better place. However, what I've learned in this internship is I don't think I want to work in politics. I think even though I have a massive interest in politics, I think my skills of fighting for the underdog could be used in a different way, such as working for nonprofits. I think a lot of politics is just arguing a lot of the time and not being able to actually get stuff done. As to oppose, I want to work in nonprofits where I can take money from, say, an organization and put it to good use.